program directors, the organizers of the South African Social Media Awards, corporate sponsors and partners, distinguished guests, members of the media, and most importantly, the award nominees. It is my singular honor to deliver a message of support to the inaugural South Africa Social Media Awards this evening. I must say, I'm very honored to have been asked by the event organizers to share my thoughts on the impact of social media on society today. I apologize that I cannot be with you in person due to work commitments, but I thought that I should still share my thoughts with you at this important event and hopefully secure an invite for myself again next year. I want to first of all congratulate the organizers for their vision and their foresight. I went to the website and I learned more about this initiative, and on there it said that the Social Media Awards recognize the best campaigns, individuals, and the digital tools on social media. The awards are open to anyone who's using or working with social media for content creation, so it's really a great honor for me to be a part of this community. The world as we experience it today is fundamentally different from the one that our parents grew up in. The majority of participants on these platforms saw the development and the public use of the internet in the early 90s, the anti-globalization movement in the early 2000s, and the birth of social media happened only a couple of years later. These milestones are important in highlighting the rapid nature and the momentum of change that this generation of young people from across the globe are experiencing simultaneously. Social media has now come to play quite an important role in society, and it has completely transformed the field of communications. It has enabled us to discover and learn new information, share ideas, interact with people and brands, promote various activities, debate topical issues, and campaign for various causes. It's a complex interplay of integrated websites and applications that allow users to interact and to participate in what we've now come to know as social networking. Thanks to social media, anyone, anywhere in the world can capture and broadcast a historic moment in real time as it unfolds. In many ways, the evolution of technology has directly aided the growth and the development of social media. It has changed the way we live, it has simplified the way we communicate and access information, and it has literally put the power in the hands of the user. One of the largest industries that social media has had an effect on is news and journalism. Since the internet is now the fastest and the easiest way to get news, print media is diminishing. Publications are being forced to post articles online. Another effect of this advanced technology is that virtually anyone can become themselves a journalist and produce news that they feel is accurate and credible. Almost instantly, we can create, we can share, spread stories to users across the globe. Top news break on Twitter, and people worldwide are made aware of what's happening almost instantaneously. The power of social media has allowed our society to be much more knowledgeable about news and current affairs happening around the world, even with government. The manner in which government interacts with citizens has undergone a very radical change. Not so long ago, the idea of a career that focused just on digital media was not even remotely imaginable. We've seen what social media has done for brands across different fields, including in business, entertainment, lifestyle, and the public sector. Public participation and the way we engage has completely evolved. Government communications was once measured on the number of stakeholder engagements and imbizos that you were conducting across communities, quite contrary to where we are today, where our community interventions are measured in terms of the number of likes, the shares, the retweets on our platforms, or even the number of views on our YouTube channel. A key feature of social media and technology is how it has equalized access to information, with social media having radically lowered the barriers to entry in what was traditionally an exclusive domain. My reflection today centers on the impact that social media has on society broadly, but particularly on young people. What I've observed as having had a really positive impact on society brought about by social media includes the ease with which brands can communicate information, the ease with which users are able to gain access to that information. Young people everywhere are generating uniquely African content, creating access to global markets, and monetizing their presence on social media. The opportunity for young people to use their talents, to use their gifts, their interests, their skills to create sustainable livelihoods for themselves and for others is perhaps for me the most valuable aspect of social media. What can start out as a hobby can very quickly evolve into a platform for one to showcase their offering and their entrepreneurial flair whilst they're creating employment opportunities for other people. The role of social media in the time of COVID-19 can also not be overemphasized in how it has helped governments share information rapidly, counter fake news, exchange knowledge, and also share best practice in an effort for us to fight the pandemic on all fronts. It has provided us with a platform where we have come to rely on one another for information and also learn from the expertise of others. Since the start of the pandemic, government has had to heighten communication efforts that are key to our fight against the pandemic, and social media has made these communication efforts that much more accessible and that much more effective in reassuring South Africans, instilling hope, and guiding their action during the pandemic. Wear your mask, sanitize, social distance. These are all actions that have become our way of life as we battle our way through this pandemic. And this behavior change is a direct result of a concerted effort using these platforms to support our overall interventions. Just as a simple illustration, without saying too much about family meetings, we hit our highest numbers in terms of audiences, where government would provide updates in terms of the risk-adjusted strategy to dealing with the coronavirus pandemic. The number of people who consumed these addresses on our social media platforms is unprecedented. These are people who would have had to, in the past, ensure that they are either near a TV or a radio so that they're able to catch what the president had to say for that particular evening. At a time of crisis that called for a shift in communications, where government needed to be the center and the authority on communications with regards to all aspects of the national response to the pandemic, provide clear and coherent direction, social media was at the heart of our communication strategy, and South Africans depended on centralized government messaging. They learned how to recognize fake news, how to recognize illegitimate content, when to wait for news that is accurate, how not to disseminate unverified information, and most importantly, knowing who to trust. While there have been significant positives, we've also seen the ugly side of social media, and we must acknowledge the risks that come with our activity on these platforms. Characterized, one, by the proliferation of fake news, which is the rapid spread of disinformation and misinformation that is spread mostly using faceless accounts. Issues that are central to one's identity, including an increase in cyberbullying, online harassment. We've seen how these platforms have been used to nefariously manipulate the populace. We only have to go back to the July unrest. There's an increasing body of work looking into how social media is negatively affecting the mental health and the general well-being of users, given that we are expected to demonstrate value, often sometimes at the expense of our own self-worth. In the final analysis, when evaluating the power of social media, a quote that comes to mind for me is the one that says, "With great power comes great responsibility." We've experienced the great power of social media, but the question for us now is, how do we ensure that that great power gets exercised in a responsible manner? I wish to thank the organizers once again for creating this platform that gives prominence to the efforts of a new breed of citizens who inspire us every day and fill us with a great sense of pride as they break barriers and also place South Africa on the global map. This community of pioneers deserves this recognition. After all, they've taught me how to cook, how to do makeup, they've made me laugh at the end of a bad day, but they've also shown me how everyone has the power to help others. And most importantly, they remind us every day that we are all human and nothing beats the power of community. And that is why I wish all the nominees well. As the country faces multiple and complex challenges, it is my wish that we use this powerful tool to continue to effect change, to increase collaboration, and to bring communities together towards solving problems, not only just in our own localities, but across the world. May the social media awards continue to grow from strength to strength and even extend their categories to include recognition for work done in the public sector space. Thank you very much. Stay safe and enjoy the evening.